morning. This is Eddie.
And I'm Lindsay, and we are coming to you live from the WSMS studio. Please give your attention to Salem for the pledge.
Good morning. Please join me in a moment of silence. Please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remember to show respect, make a difference, and set the bar high. Have a great day. Now back to the announcers.
DC Gold forms for the 8th grade field trip are due to Miss Marsh's class, room 200 by tomorrow, Wednesday, September 27th.
The 5-star rosters will be posted in the main office and cafeteria. Be sure you check the list before 5-star starts on Wednesday.
Tonight is the night. What is it, you ask? Tonight is the night that our 7th and 8th grade football teams play at Penn High School against Grissom. All the action begins at 6:15 at Penn. The 7th grade will play first, followed by the 8th grade. Our own Schmucker 8th grade football team, led by Coach Baldwin, is undefeated and will be playing for the Big 11 conference title. Come out and support our Spartan teams in what should be a couple of great games.
Thanks for joining us.
But first, a joke. Can a kangaroo jump over a house?
I don't know, can it?
Of course it can. A house can't jump. Stay tuned for the 5-star video, and we'll see you tomorrow. Stay classy, Schmucker.
What's up, 5-Star Life? Coach Seth here to talk to you about how you can open doors to living a 5-star life. And we've been talking about doors. See, every door is a choice. Every moment of the day, you're making choices. Am I going to engage in school today? How am I going to think about myself? How am I going to treat my peers, my teachers, my siblings? Every choice opens a door into another world. And so those doors lead us down paths. And we've been talking about this whole idea that you are the CEO, you are the boss of your life. And so I want to ask you a question. What is your standard for how you're going to treat the adults in your school, the teachers, the aides, the principal? How are you going to treat them? And I'm not asking what the handbook says is a standard for how you treat them. I'm not asking even what the 5-star value of respect would say, treating others the way you want to be treated. We believe these values, if you live by them, you're going to be a huge success. But it doesn't matter what 5-star says. It doesn't matter what your handbook says. It matters what you say because you're the CEO. You're the boss. And so think about this. This happens early on. You see the little girl in class, in grade school. She decides to stand up on her chair because she feels like standing. She doesn't want to sit anymore. She wants to stand. So she stands up, and the teacher kindly says, please sit down. Take a seat. We don't stand. The rule is we don't stand in our seats. And she kind of throws a fit and says, I want to stand. Well, the teacher gently walks over, grabs her hand, and says, well, you can go see the principal. You can skip recess, or I can call your parents, or you can sit down. Well, she stubbornly decides to sit down, but she says, I may be sitting on the outside, but I'm standing on the inside. And the truth is, it doesn't matter what other people think. Doesn't matter what the handbook says. Doesn't even matter what 5-star says or Coach Seth says, because you're the boss. You're the CEO. So what is your standard for how you're going to treat faculty, teachers? I'm not just talking about the low bar level of don't burp in class, don't be rude, don't cuss out your teacher, some of those things. How do you think you should treat teachers? How should you do that? And why do we lower the bar and allow teachers to force us to make good decisions? If we're the boss, shouldn't we be the ones that determine that? See, I think we look at this the wrong way. See, if you're the CEO or the boss, think about this. You may never, ever again in your life have 6 to 10 people working for you. So teachers, aides, everybody there, they're working for you. Their whole job, they get paid full time. You got a staff that works for you to help you get an education so you can thrive. My question is, how are you treating them? A young black kid from New York City took a totally different approach. He wasn't sure if he wanted to be a preacher like his father or a doctor. It wasn't until he took an acting class and discovered his passion for theater that he decided to apply for acting school. Well, he needed letters of recommendation. He went to his English teacher and asked for one, and he wrote the most incredible letter of recommendation in the world. He basically said something to the effect of, if you don't have the talent to nurture this young man, don't even bother accepting him. Denzel Washington, as we know him now, blew up the big screen. And he still to this day on every set carries that note, that encouragement. So my question is this. Like Denzel, will you look at your teachers as people that are working and performing for you? Or will you just overlook it and really not think anything of that? That's the question. See, teachers get mistreated all the time. You're going to hear from some of them right now.
So I've had students cuss me out. I've had students throw things at me. I've had students call me racist. And it just made me feel like all the work that I'd put in to try to get kids to trust me just didn't, like it just went to the wayside. And because we're here for students, we work so hard for students, and so to have somebody cuss me out after all I've put into them just really made me feel really bad.
All right, for me as a teacher, one of the things that I've had to face is not only words, but one of the more extreme situations that a student that was upset, he wanted to leave the room, and for him, his step that he literally took was a sharpened pencil, put it up to my neck. And that was one of those situations where literally having to speak to him to address that situation without overreacting was difficult. But I've also had students from me as a black man address me that I couldn't speak to them because of who I was. And I've also had students, again, use other derogatory terms for me. But the biggest part always became developing those relationships and letting them know where I'm coming from in those situations.
I love the TV show Undercover Boss. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's basically a show about these large companies that the CEO, the bosses, go undercover. They put wigs on, they change their clothes, and they come in as like low-level employees because they want to get a feel and a sense for what's happening in the company. And there's always a turning point in the show as they're working the cashier or trying to, or doing the custodial work or trying to. They find out these people work so hard and they're so skilled and so good at what they do. And along the way, they learn about the personal challenges. The son or daughter are going through cancer treatment, the dream of going to continue their education, the hopes, all these things come together, and it changes the way the CEO and the boss treats their employees, changes their whole organization. Maybe like those bosses, we need to shift and change the way we view our employees, the teachers, where they're working for you. I met this teacher named Edie, who is one of the most amazing teachers I've ever met. She actually coaches volleyball as well. She coaches track. On top of that, she has 2 beautiful children, and she works a second job to make ends meet because she's married to a total deadbeat, like druggy, nasty guy. Actually openly cheats on her. Think about this, trying to come to school, put on a happy face to inspire students, and go home to that. Well, one day she had the courage to stand up, and as this guy came home from a late night party, she met him on the porch and she said, "You've got to choose. Do you want the family? Do you want me? Do you want the girls? Or do you want your single life?" He laughed, didn't hesitate, said, "You're not even worth it." Did you ever think about the fact that your teachers may have real lives, real struggles? If you want to be a great boss, a great CEO, you got to change the way you think. It's time to start looking at every teacher as an individual, as an employee, and the question is, will you inspire them to work and perform for you, or will you not? Will you bash them, trash them, gossip, be nasty to them? The question really will determine how great your education experience is, how well they perform for you, and what doors open up for your education. The choice is yours. Good luck.